Man, how's it going, y'all? Carluta here, back with another video on your screen. I'm here with Cyrus, the mechanic. Um, it's gonna be a crazy interview. I can't wait for y'all to hear what he has to say. And man, welcome to the channel, bro. How you doing?
Hey, good, sir. A little cold today, but I'm doing good. Had a little run this morning. Uh, yeah, I'm doing good.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Rosa was telling me that you have a story, to tell, and what? How did you get into the game, and wanting to do that to make that leap?
Tell you the truth, sir. I'm from San Antonio, and growing up, from the west side and the south side parts, there's a lot of gangs and a lot of stuff that goes on in the street in the hood. And one day I was walking with my mom in the west side and we saw a boxing gym and it caught my attention and I talked to the coach. It was his name was Jason Mata and he saw me and he's like, "Hey, you want to train?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was about 12 years old and but I knew it costed money, so I thought it was like a little temporary like that one day thing. And after the workout, he asked me, he's like, "How do you like to train here?" And I was like, yeah, but I know I won't be able to afford it. And I didn't tell him that, but I felt that. And he was like, hey, just to let you know, it's free. I said, for real? He's like, yes, sir. I said, man, I'll be back tomorrow. And after that, as a kid, that's all I dreamed about. That was my way out of 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 poverty. And my grandpa was a boxer, and I just, that's in my bloodline, where,
Hmm.
in San Antonio, there's a lot of fighters. There's always, that's just how we are. We're very humble, but we're tough. And growing up, that's all I wanted to do is to get to the next level. Um, and as my story goes, is that when I was about 18 years old, I got that career taken away from me. I was involved into a fight, and me thinking I was the toughest guy in the world, I was completely wrong, man. I was stabbed 7 times.
Damn.
And then, yeah, that ended my whole dream and everything. And so I hanged the gloves up and I chilled and I ended up having kids. I have 6 sons and a daughter. But when I had my son, my oldest, I said, you know what, man, I can't box no more. I can't do that, but I could feed that to my kids.
Yeah.
And so since my son was a little baby, I trained him and trained him, and we'll go to the gyms you know and now he fights. He's 19 years old and we're trying to get him pro. But um me growing up and after I got stabbed, I just fell back. I went into back into like with the gangs, not the drugs, but in gangs and stuff. And being the tough guy, I'll always look out for my friends and be the one to fight the fight. I wouldn't start it, but you
Mm,
know, I mean,
damn.
and yeah, so and I needed to make money with the family, so I became a mechanic. And I started at pick and pull, pulling parts off, and that's all I did. I focused on trying to help people out, doing mechanics and stuff. And that whole me fighting and boxing thing, I have put that away a long time ago. It's been like 20 years since that has happened. And I have a good buddy that I went to middle school with and high school with, and he always would tell me, he's like, man, that'd be cool. We had like a backyard fight stuff, man, and put you in there and so people could see your skills. And I'll laugh. And my brother-in-law, Fist and Glory, were trying to find street fighters. And my brother-in-law took the flyer and he told my buddy about it. And the first thing they did was call me, man. They were like, hey, Cyrus, man, there you have an opportunity of a lifetime, man, to change your life and just go out there. And they, explained, and I was like, I can't do that, man. He's like,
Mm.
well, just think about it. I was like, I already know that. and it took me about a week of just thinking about it, and I prayed about it, and I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna do it, you know. And I know a lot of people have their reasons why they box, you know,
Hmm.
or they fight and stuff like that. And but for me, it means a lot, man. And for me to go out there on on January 31st, you know, it's like a dream come true to me, you know. It's a debut. I never fought before, and the person I'm gonna fight, he's had some fights. He's a pro boxer, so I know it's not gonna be easy, and I respect boxing because I seen and I've been part of it my whole life, but I'm not in. There's levels to that stuff, but I'm gonna go
Yeah.
out there and fight my hearted and see. I gave it a second chance. I was supposed to fight in October card, and I
Okay.
was actually supposed to fight in the summer. So from since the summer, October, and now we're in January, this whole time I've been training, and now I'm in a training camp, and I've been like I'm in the best shape of my life. I got a
Yeah.
six pack.
Dang.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy, and I'm ready to fight and really show what I got and put on a big show. It's exciting and it's gonna be incredible, man. And after everybody goes home and I sit there and I think about it, win or lose, I just like, damn, I did something, that's cool,
Yeah.
I want to win because when I first found out about Fist and Glory and I went to the first meeting in the summer. I told him about my story and I talked to Ms. Rosa, and she looked at the one of the promoters and she's like, "Go get the belt." I said, "The belt?" I see it. He goes, "Yeah," and they went to the back room and they pulled out a championship belt, and I was like, "That's fucking cool, man. Hell yeah." He's like, "Yeah." He goes, but you have to win a certain amount of fights to get that belt, and
Mm.
then you defend it. And
Mm.
I was like, I like it, you know. So I like to do mechanics. My son's a boxer. I'm ready to go, man. And I'm excited. So
That'll be.
sorry I talked so much.
You're good, bro. That's a hell of a story, bro. Like a lot of ups and downs, but now you're up and you're about to, embark on the next journey. And I'm pulling for you, bro. I'm excited to see it now, even more now. Like
Yeah,
I want to see Cyrus fight. And you know what? What's the first thing that you want everyone to think about you after the 31st?
that no matter how old you are, if you're a dad, especially if you're a dad and you have kids, you can always fight. You know what I mean? You still
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
No matter what, dude, like it's in your heart, it's in your blood, That's what I'm doing it for. For us regular Mexicanos that are out here in San Antonio that work hard, do that 9 to 5, we just go with everybody else. You know, we were special, you're special, man, you know. And I just that's what I want people to think about when they think about me.
Absolutely, bro. And do you have tickets on hand or
No,
either don't?
I haven't really got with the tickets or nothing, but they're online and on sale. I just been training, man, like there's not enough. You
Yeah.
know, my whole lifestyle changed, so
Yeah,
I,
absolutely, bro. So you got into boxing, then that tragic accident happened. It's crazy to think about, bro, like how fast life can change everything and
yes, sir.
kind of change the way you go and path and everything. You seem like a hell of a dude, bro. I can't wait to see you fight. Do you have social media and stuff like that? People can follow you?
Nah,
No?
nah, man, I don't. I'm from the old school, so I just y'all see me on the fight, and the people that know me that cheer me on, that's badass. And I'm gonna come through Fist and Glory. Y'all can follow me through there.
That,
And
that sounds great,
that's it.
bro. Big shout out to Rosa for always helping. She's helping everybody out. She's been, just standing her ground and helping out. the young fighters, even the fighters that never got their shot, but
Look at me.
allowing them to live their journey and live their dream that they've been wanting to do for so long, and finally getting their shot. And Cyrus, bro, you're gonna do a hell of a job, bro. And I can't wait to see it, bro. And everyone follow Cyrus, his journey. Come out the 31st. Get y'all's tickets. Fist and Glory is where it's gonna be at on the 31st. Big shout out to Rosa. Big shout out to all my sponsors as well. It's been Carlito, Cyrus, One Love. We out.